Have you read this book? Manifestation through the 12 Laws of the Universe. Here are the 12 laws. 1. The law of divine oneness. 2. The law of vibration. 3. The law of action. 4. The law of correspondence. 5. The law of cause and effect. 6. The law of compensation. 7. The law of attraction. 8. The law of perpetual transmutation energy. 9. The law of relativity. 10. The law of polarity. 11. The law of rhythm. 12. The law of gender. Follow for the comprehensive book review from Melk. Now, let's continue with the lesson. Please share if this is beneficial. Manifestation through the 12 Laws of the Universe explores the profound principles governing creation and manifestation through an intricate tapestry of spiritual wisdom and practical guidance. This book illuminates how the 12 universal laws can be harnessed to align intentions with reality, fostering abundance, harmony, and fulfillment in every aspect of life. 1. The law of oneness. This is the law that binds us together. It states that everything and everyone in the universe is connected. We all come from the same divine source. A human being is part of the whole, called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison. Albert Einstein, 1879 to 1955. Every thought or action we have ever had, either positive or negative, affects everyone. If we hurt others, we hurt ourselves. Nothing is separate. Separation is just an illusion we allow ourselves in order to experience what it feels like to be away from the source. Quantum physics thus reveals a basic oneness of the universe. Erwin Schrödinger, 1887 to 1961. 2. The law of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Everything in the universe is but a vibration. Everything changes and nothing stands still. Plato, 427-347 BC. The physical and spiritual worlds and everything in them. Every thought, every emotion, every atom has its own unique vibration. For us to progress spiritually, we only have to raise our vibration. Unconditional love is the highest emotional vibration and hate the lowest. Modern scientific research in quantum physics has proven that the universe and everything in it is pure energy vibrating at different frequencies. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. To understand the true nature of the universe, one must think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Nikola Tesla, 1856 to 1943. Here on Earth, the highest vibration we can attain is that which they call enlightenment. 3. The law of action works in tandem with the law of attraction. Thoughts alone are not sufficient when manifesting. They must be accompanied with corresponding actions. Knowledge alone is not power. You can't just sit at home and pray for things to change, or wait for the right conditions before you act. You have to take the first steps on faith alone, and if you do, the universe will do the rest. 4. The law of correspondence. As within, so without. This law underpins the belief that in order to change the world around us, we must first change ourselves. The idea that the world we live in is a manifestation of our internal thoughts and feelings is a fundamental belief in Ho'oponopono. Life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. Ernest Holmes. Think of it like this. We really only have complete control over one thing in our lives, our thoughts. No one can tell us what to think or feel. If we can control what we think, we can create the reality we desire. Unfortunately, most of us have no idea what we are thinking most of the time. Try this simple test to find out what vibration you're really sending out into the universe. Monitor every thought you have for the next hour. If it is a negative thought, judgment, anger, frustration, anger, anxiety, fear, etc., then discard it as quickly as you recognize it. If it is a positive thought, joy, excitement, happiness, contentment, admiration, love, compassion, then nurture it, hold it and the associated feelings with you as long as you can. All you have to do to pass the test is have more positive thoughts than negative. 51% will do to start. If you're feeling really brave, try it for a whole day. 5. The law of cause and effect. Nothing happens by chance. Every action or thought has an equal or opposite reaction. Tied in with the law of oneness, this law again enforces why we must take full responsibility for the effects we see in our lives, because we at some point caused them. As you give out, you shall receive. Michelangelo, 1475 to 1564. 6. The law of compensation. This is a world of balance and harmony. The universe is both self-organizing and self-correcting, and no good deed is left unrewarded. This law ensures that we are rewarded for any past acts of kindness or love that at the time we may not have received. This compensation can come to us in this life or in the next. It comes in many forms: gifts, money, friendships, health, talent. 7. The law of attraction. Like attracts like. Whatever you focus your thoughts and energy on, that is what you will attract, either good or bad. Many of you will have heard of the law of attraction, made famous in books such as The Secret. The process has millions of practitioners throughout the world, and there are many similarities between the law of attraction technique and the Ho'oponopono process. Many of the core beliefs such as reincarnation, divine intelligence, and the ability to co-create are the same. But there are also fundamental differences. Ho'oponopono's focus on 100% personal responsibility for our actions and circumstances, and its emphasis on surrender to the divine's will to decide what is best, is significantly different than law of attractions, with its intense focus on specific visualization. As I mentioned before, like attracts like. The universe sends us what we think and feel, and law of attraction practitioners use this to facilitate their results. And it does work in a limited way, albeit sporadically, but it is only part of the process. Using visualization, lists, and other tools, they focus entirely on the outcome of the petition. This technique puts the conscious mind in the driving seat, as it is used to generate the required emotion/vibration. It is no secret that the conscious mind and its ego are extremely difficult to control. When focusing on a future outcome or ideal, it is very easy to start generating counterproductive negative emotions such as impatience, frustration, and anxiety. Sending these types of emotions out into the universe can only exasperate the initial problem. The Ho'oponopono process takes a far different and simpler approach. In Ho'oponopono, we only have to identify the areas in our life that we'd like to address and send a petition to the divine for redemption and cleansing. The rest of the process is left to the vastly superior perspective and wisdom of the universal mind to decide the best outcome. I do use visualizations in my Ho'oponopono practice, as it assists me to create the emotions I feel are necessary when petitioning, but I try not to tie them to a specific request or outcome. I deliberately avoid using detailed pre-visualizations of what I request. I don't try to manipulate the world with sheer force of will. Importantly, I avoid having any preconceived ideas of the outcome of my petition or how it will manifest. Ho'oponopono practice is as much about enjoying the journey as it is about manifesting results. Plus, I like surprises. My only aim is to leave a clean void for the divine to fill as it sees fit, trusting in it with its infinite knowledge and wisdom, to know what is best for me and all concerned. 8. Law of perpetual transmutation of energy. This little-known law is at the very core of Ho'oponopono. It states that each of us has the ability to change the circumstances of our lives. Higher vibrations always have the power to consume and transmute lower vibrations. We are never trapped no matter the circumstances of our lives. The universe always allows us the opportunity to grow and evolve, and is constantly giving us opportunities to do so. All we have to do is raise our vibration and take action. The most important decision we make is whether we believe we live in a friendly or hostile universe. Albert Einstein, 1879 to 1955. If you are on the right path, if you face each day with love and compassion, then the divine will give you all the help and assistance you need. Be sure of that. 9. The law of relativity. All things are relative. Nothing is good or bad unless we make it so. It just is. Nothing in our lives has any meaning unless it relates to us. The lessons we set ourselves in this life are based around this law. How could we empathize with someone who has lost a child if we had never known loss ourselves? How could we comfort a friend with a broken heart if we hadn't experienced the same? Of course, we don't experience all these losses/lessons in this lifetime alone. That would be overwhelming. We do, though, carry the memories of our previous lives' experiences with us as we progress. This is why you can feel such strong empathy, even grief, for someone who has lost a child. For though you might not have lost one yourself in this life, you can be pretty sure you have suffered this tragedy yourself in one of your past incarnations. 10. The law of polarity. This law states that everything that exists has an opposite. Love and hate, dark and light, success and failure, happiness and sadness. One cannot exist without the other. As all things in the universe are one, the same, then nothing can be different. Hot is the same as cold, pain the same as pleasure, just at different ends of the spectrum. It is only our perception of them that changes. By allowing us to experience both sides, polarity creates balance and harmony in the universe, and allows us to fully experience and appreciate our experiences here on Earth. As above, so below. Hermes Trismegistus, Sued. 11. Law of rhythm. Everything in the universe vibrates and moves in certain rhythms. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. The Kybalion. These rhythms form the cycles and patterns we see in our lives. The rise and fall of our nations and economies, the circle of life, as they call it in the movie The Lion King. By remembering that the pendulum always swings back, we can view the events in our lives in a more balanced way. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. 12. Law of gender. There are two parts to this law. The first states that everything in nature has a masculine and feminine, yin and yang. Both are vital and equally important. Again, the goal is to allow us to experience both and to find a balance between them. The second governs creation in the physical world and states that everything has a gestation period, even thoughts. Nothing in this world happens instantly. It takes 9 months for a baby to be born. An oak seed will take a little longer. When we have a thought, we plant a seed in the universe. And like everything in nature, only by nurturing that seed will we see it grow. Most people give up if they don't see instant results. Don't give up on your dreams and goals. Be assured that they are growing and manifesting their way into your life. All you have to do is nurture them and try to remember, everything comes to you in the right moment. Be patient. And on. One final law that we should be aware when creating is the law of probability, which is a sub-law to the law of attraction. When we shift from our old reality to the new one, it is done gradually, in small, incremental, dimensional shifts. The universe will begin to synchronize with whatever we already have in our lives. If you are living in a shack, destitute, with no education or prospects, you won't suddenly find yourself in a high-powered career, living in a penthouse. That would be improbable. But you may find that job that will help you move into a better house. Unexpectedly, you might discover that your kids qualify for a free scholarship. Things will improve and keep improving, until one day you just might find yourself in that penthouse. If that's what you really want, you have to ask yourself, what is the likelihood of me winning the lotto? Slim to none. What about if you haven't even bought a ticket? What is the probability now? None. The same goes with health issues. Though we choose to live in an age of tremendous medical advancements, some things are still impossible. You are not suddenly going to regrow a limb. We must work within the limits of our times. Of course, these boundaries will change and expand as mankind evolves and progresses. Nothing endures but change. Heraclitus, 535-475 BC. Until then, we have to work with the forces and laws that govern this physical plane.